Hey, I'm Mina. We're at the thrift and I'm going to be thrifting for paloma wool inspired pieces. I feel like it's a brand that has resonated with me since I first found out about them, and they do a great job of kind of elevating basic pieces and really simple, kind of like beautiful pieces at their essence, but make them a little bit more interesting, a little bit more unique, and tap into some kind of 90s Y2K vibes every now and then. But I am just really excited to look for pieces like those at the thrift. So let's see what we can find. So starting in the skirts, I feel like this black slinky skirt could definitely be something Paloma Wool makes. I feel like they do slinky pieces so well. This looked like it had like a Y2K tag with Hot Lux is the name, which is kind of funny, but it's made in USA. It was like kind of a stretchy jersey fabric, seemed super flattering. Just the overall fit of it is really good. Long all the way to the floor with a really wide waistband, so you could kind of play with like folding that down or like twisting it. I don't know, doing interesting things with that waistband. Next, this little mini skirt. It's like trouser fabric with these little pleat details at the top. And that detail is what made me think this has Paloma Wool vibes. Also, the kind of texture and the weave of the fabric, and of course, it's vintage, made in USA, which we love to see. But again, this is one of those pieces that's so classic, just like a straight down mid to low rise mini skirt in this tan color, but it's these little details that make it more interesting and give me the vibe of Paloma Wool. Next, these green pants, originally from Zara. Just like pull-on pants, a little bit slinky, but they're kind of in between like a trouser fabric and just like a really stretchy fabric. So I think they're going to be really comfortable. But the color is what sold me on these. I feel like Paloma Wool has been doing so much cool stuff with these kinds of tones of green. Next, these little linen capris. What sold me on them was this button shell detailing on the bottom hem, because Paloma Wool has been doing these like tops and other pieces with these really cute little button details along different hemlines, and this fits in right with that. It's a little bit too big for me, so I did have to leave these behind, but I wanted to call them out because I feel like you could style these in a really cool way. Next, this Express World brand vintage blazer. It feels very 90s. It had a little notch, which I love. Just feels unique. It feels like 90s does 70s in a really cool way. And I feel like over the past few years, Paloma Wool has been playing with more like workwear related pieces. And so I feel like something like this blazer could kind of slot right in with that. Next, these brown little kitten heel sandals. Paloma Wool has been doing so many cute, cool little kitten heels that are simple but feel kind of Y2K, and these fit that vein to me, especially in this taupey brown color. And the heel shape is a little bit interesting, a little bit weird, and I just love it. Next, these black wedges. They have such an interesting heel shape, and that is what really sold me on them. That makes them remind me of Paloma Wool is the way that they're playing with textures and also playing with like closures. Now, these little slides, playing with the cow hair, they feel like a very 2000s shape with the super almond toe and the little heel. But again, this kind of undefinable beige color and the cow hair texture just felt Paloma Wool-esque. Next, sporty flats. Paloma Wool does the sporty flats so good, so cute. These had the same vibe, and the colorway was awesome with the ice blue and then the chunky black sole, so I did grab these. Next, this green bag, again, these kind of green tones with the little hardware in kind of a really classic, easy-to-wear shape. Feels very Paloma Wool to me. I feel like they do such a good job including interesting colored leather when they're making their bags and shoes, so I did have to grab this bag. Next, this little like woven tote with a leather flower applique. And one, the shape of this bag was so beautiful just without the flower applique, but two, flower applique was so cute. Like this, I don't know, something about this bag really spoke to me. I want to take this to the beach when it's kind of cold and I have like a sweater and jeans on but flip-flops, and then this bag. Next, this dress, not 100% sold on, but it had the little polo collar, and it was such a classic 90s kind of slinky fabric that I was like, could this be Paloma Woolly? But I wasn't sold on it, so I did leave it behind. Now this green cowl neck dress with an asymmetric hemline in this super pale, almost like neon-y yellow kind of green. Scream paloma wool to me. It's got the slinky silhouette, it's got asymmetry, and it's in a fun color. And I feel like you could wear one of the straps on the top off, so you could also have like an asymmetric neckline. Next, this little cardigan with these braided details, and what I loved was the hook and eye closure up top. But it doesn't just have one hook and eye closure at the top, it had two. Unfortunately, it also had a huge hole in the neckline, but I thought that this was really cute, and again is tapping into that simplicity. It's elevated with some little interesting details. Next, this polo shirt. And again, I think the colors are what was really speaking to me here. So this is this cream color with almost green undertones in a kind of 90s does 70s polo silhouette. And so I had to grab this. So on my way out, I stopped in the pants again and I found these brown pinstripe trousers with orange and pink little pinstripes. So cool. Vintage Old Navy. They're like low to mid-rise. And so I did have to add them to cart. But now let's head home and I'll give you guys a haul of what I ended up buying. Hey, back from the thrift store. You might recognize this shirt because I'm filming a couple thrift hauls in a row, but I think it was pretty successful finding paloma wool inspired pieces at the thrift. I feel like they are kind of seasonless. And yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. So one of the first things I found were these green Zara pants, and this color green is really what drew me, and I feel like I have seen so many shades of kind of like a muted green in recent paloma wool pieces, and they're just kind of a really simple silhouette, like an easy pull-on pant. Again, remind me of a lot of the pants that they do, just like really simple but elevated in like the fabrication, the color, the styling, that kind of thing. And the thing that made these really interesting to me is the color. And they're kind of like a trouser material, which I really like too. But the color of these is just so good. It's like this perfect muted green. It makes me think of like Rachel from Friends, this color green, because I think she wears a dress kind of similar to this in one episode, and they're just so good. And again, this color just feels so paloma wool, like the greens like this. I feel like we're showing up in so many different ways, and it's just kind of like a kind of slinky pant, but really classic, just like a really great elevated basic, which I think is one of the things that paloma wool does so well. Then the next thing is this little New York t-shirt. And again, the thing that really sold me on this was the colorway and the block print. It's a really simple t-shirt, but I feel like paloma wool does a lot of this kind of like block lettering, especially recently with like the 10-year bags and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's like a little bit sporty, but this color brown and the like cream of the letters are what really sold me on it. It's kind of like a taupey brown. On camera, it looks a little bit warmer than it is in real life. It's a little bit more muted. And I just think this is gonna be such a fun and easy t-shirt to wear. It's just super comfy for like a lazy day, a comfy day, a home day, but could also be styled with like some, I feel like this with like some black pants for fall could be really cool, or like a black skirt would be really sweet. I've been so into brown and black. And again, it's just got a little bit of sporty, the colorway is right, but it's just, again, elevated basic. The colors, it's the little details that like make the big difference. And then the last thing I got is this polo long sleeve shirt that I really love. Paloma Wool had this one, it was almost like a semi-sheer polo shirt that I really loved. And I feel like they've been doing more things with a polo collar over the past couple years. And again, the color of this is what sold me on it. It's this cream kind of off-white color with a slightly greenish undertone. And again, it's that slight green undertone, these kind of like indefinable colors that really feel like very paloma wool to me. It's like pieces that you could wear with everything and anything, but they feel a little bit unique. So it's this like really heavy kind of rib texture with the great classic kind of jersey collar. And I just think the fit of it is gonna be so good, so easy, like perfect with a pair of mid-rise or low-rise pants, perfect to kind of transition into fall. And I just really love it. And also it taps into a little bit of that kind of 70s vibe with the like neckline, with the like 70s coming back, little trend prediction I had in my pre-fall trends video. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But